So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover that day's newspaper in a very short span of time within 20 minutes. Because we firmly believe that current affairs are very important for your civil services examination. But your time is also very important, right? Now, how can you marry these two? How can you cover current affairs on a daily basis without wasting much time? So what I do is every day I read the entire newspaper and multiple newspapers and I shortlist important topics. Those important topics are important from the perspective of civil services examination. So you don't need to read the entire newspaper, just the selected articles that are shortlisted on the basis of their probability in featuring in the examination. Right? So I've done the hard work for you. I have shortlisted those topics and I discuss those topics within 20 minutes or around 20 minutes. All right. Now, today we are going to be covering October 1st, 2024's newspaper. And the important news items in today's newspaper are as following. Okay, so topics of the day. There are four topics that we need to focus on in today's newspaper, and number one among them is Annual Survey of Industries. Recently, Annual Survey of Industries data has been released by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and this data is for the fiscal year 2022-23. It's an important data. What were the findings of this report, this survey? What is ASI? What is the significance of ASI? We'll discuss in topic number one. Then, recently, Government of India has lifted a ban on non-Basmati rice exports. Now, why was this ban put in place in the first place? Right? Then, why did the government lift this ban? And what sort of implications this would have for India's rice production? We'll talk about this. Then a news article regarding overseas citizen of India came out. The reason for this article was that certain US citizens who are OCI card holders have objected to certain changes made in the rules of OCI card scheme. So what is this OCI card scheme? What are the benefits of this scheme? And what were the changes made by the government in the rules related to OCI card scheme? We'll talk about this. And in the end, we'll talk about a scientific study on Indian elephants. Okay, this is very important because environment is a very important subject for your civil services examination, and environment related news is also very important. So we'll take a look at this news item. All right, okay, without much delay, let's straight away jump into the discussion with topic number one, Annual Survey of Industries. So what was in the news? So Annual Survey of Industries for 2022-23 was released by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And what was found in this survey? It was found that total number of employees in manufacturing sector or industries has increased by 7.5%. In 2021-22, the total number of jobs in organized manufacturing, was 1.72 crore, and now it has reached, in 2022-23, it has reached 1.84 crore. So it has risen by 7.5%. In fact, ASI says that this is very good news because this has happened for the very first time in the last 12 years. In the last 12 years, increase in manufacturing jobs, formal manufacturing jobs, has never seen such a huge jump. Okay, this was the highest jump in manufacturing jobs in the last 12 years. Now, this was what was written in the news article. But what is important for us as civil services aspirants is, what is this ASI? Okay, so let's talk about this. So ASI is Annual Survey of Industry, and basically it is the most authoritative and principal source of data for industrial statistics. Okay, and which types of industries? Organized industries. Okay, there are different types of industries: organized, unorganized, different types of jobs, formal, informal. So ASI focuses on organized sector. It started in 1960. All right, and it is conducted by National Statistical Office. Now, National Statistical Office comes under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay, and this survey is conducted as per the provisions of Collection of Statistics Act 2008 enacted by Parliament. Now, the question that might be propping in your mind is, and I'm sure it is propping in your mind, is what is organized sector? So look, there are two types of factories or industries, organized and unorganized, right? Now, what is the definition of organized industries as per Indian law? So it states that factories which employ more than 10 or more workers, okay, which employ 10 or more workers and have electricity connection, or those factories which do not have electricity connection but employ minimum 20 employees. they would be categorized as organized sector. All right. Rest others are informal or unorganized sector. Okay. This is what you need to know about ASI. Now, what were the findings of ASI report of 2022-23? One report is that the share of jobs in manufacturing sector increased by 7.5%. The other findings are that the total number of organized factories increased. Okay. Now, definitely the number of jobs in formal manufacturing, organized manufacturing, increased by 7.5%. But the highest increase was seen in factories of food products, then textiles, then basic metals, then apparels, motor vehicles, trailers, and semi trailers. Okay. And it says that as per the comparison between annual survey of industries and annual survey of unincorporated enterprises, which talks about unorganized sector. Okay. So for organized sector, there is ASI. For unorganized sector, there is this. Okay. It says that the number of jobs in organized sector increased, but the number of jobs in unorganized sector decreased. Now, this is very good news because this means that our workforce is formalizing. Share of formal jobs is increasing and share of informal jobs is declining. And this is very good news because formal jobs have various facilities, health insurance, pension schemes, various social security benefits, whereas informal jobs do not. So this is very good news found out by ASI 2022-23. All right? Okay. Now let's shift focus to topic number 2, which is ban on non-Basmati rice exports lifted. Now what happened? On September 28th, central government lifted the ban on the export of non-Basmati white rice. Earlier, this ban was placed because India wanted to have adequate supply of rice in the country. That is why it banned exports. Now, what was the purpose of ensuring adequate supply of rice in the country? Because supply of rice in the country was declining last year. Now, demand is almost constant, but supply was declining. This led to food inflation. So to tackle food inflation, Government of India decided that we need to ensure adequate supply. By putting a ban in place, they actually plugged the leakage of India produced non-basmati rice to abroad. Thus, supply in India increased, inflation dropped. Now the government has decided to lift this ban. Why? Because government is assured that we won't face any supply-related problems as far as non-basmati rice are concerned. Okay, so now that the government is confident about supply of these rice varieties, government has lifted the ban. Though still government is not 100% sure that they are confident about supply of rice. That is why, though they have lifted the ban, they have still imposed a minimum export price of $490 per ton, which means exporters of non-basmati rice can now export non-basmati rice, but they cannot export non-basmati rice below this price. Okay, they cannot sell this product cheaply abroad. Again, government is trying to improve exports of non-basmati rice, but government doesn't want it to go very high. Okay, on the whole, the government is encouraging exports of non-basmati rice. In fact, they have reduced export duty, the taxes paid by exporters on non-basmati rice also. Okay, so government all in all is trying to encourage the exports. Now, what were the reasons behind lifting of this ban? There are three major reasons. First of all, this year, the amount of land which was sown under rice increased. It was a good monsoon year, plus a bumper harvest is expected. Therefore, as far as supply of rice is concerned, government is not worried. Plus, as far as inflation is concerned, the wholesale prices of rice declined and there was stable retail inflation. So, inflation was also under control. So, government is not worried about the supply. Plus, government has sufficient stocks of rice in its godowns. Food Corporation of India data shows that rice stock in the central pool was 323.11 lakh tons, which is much higher than buffer stock. Look, the minimum amount of rice that FCI godown should store, which is known as the buffer stock, is round about 100 lakh tons or 100 to 110 lakh tons. Okay, now 323 is way more than that. So government has sufficient rice. Even if there is a shortage of supply, even if there is no bumper output, government is confident that it has sufficient amount of rice to take care of the supply related issues. And that is why they have lifted this ban. All right. Now, you need to have some knowledge regarding rice exports from India. Okay. So look, India is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. But India is the largest exporter of rice. China is not the largest exporter. In fact, China produces a lot of rice, but it consumes also. So most of the Chinese rice or the rice that China produces is consumed domestically. But India exports a lot. In fact, the total amount of rice exported from India, one third is Basmati rice. Okay. Now, there are two East Asian countries that give a tough competition to India. Those are Thailand and Vietnam. Along with these, there are other countries which are categorized as rice exporters like Pakistan, Cambodia, USA. Okay. So these are the facts that you need to be familiar with. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to our third news item, which is overseas citizen of India. Now, why was this in the news? First, let's talk about that. Then we'll talk about what this OCI is. Okay. So, in the wake of several OCI card holders complaining about being reclassified as foreigners, the Ministry of External Affairs has given a clarification. So, various OCI card holders in USA and Canada were fearing that government has changed rules to their disadvantage, right? But the government of India has clarified. Now, what is OCI? Look, there are various Indians who live abroad and they have the citizenship of those countries. Some are US citizens, some are Canadian citizens, some are Australian citizens. So, Indians, these people are of Indian origin, but they have the citizenship of, well, foreign countries. But these citizens have some connection with India because they are of Indian origin, they have some relatives in India, and they want to regularly visit India. Now, India does not offer dual citizenship. If you are a citizen of another country, you won't get dual citizenship of India. Okay? India does not do that. But India wants to facilitate these Indians who want to come to India for various family related obligations or other obligations, or they want to do business in India just because they have some connection with India. So, for that, for people of Indian origin, government has come out with a scheme called OCI card scheme. All these people can register under this scheme and they would be given this OCI card. They have their American or Canadian passport because they're citizens of that country, but they will have a OCI card. And what are the benefits of this OCI card? Well, you can get multiple entry. You won't face any issues regarding Indian visa. You have lifelong visa. Plus, foreigners visiting to India have to report to local police authorities on a regular basis. But that is not the case with OCI card holders because they are treated almost. The word almost is important. They're treated almost like Indian citizens. Okay. Now, there are various Indians living abroad, but they have not given up Indian citizenship or not taken American citizenship. These Indian citizens who are living abroad are known as NRIs. Okay, OCI card holders are foreign citizens of Indian origin. NRIs are Indian citizens residing in foreign countries, right? Now, OCI card holders are treated at parity with NRIs in terms of availing facilities in economic, financial, and educational fields. Though there are some exceptions for both NRIs and OCI card holders that they cannot buy plantation, agriculture land, or agricultural property, but those are different exceptions. Otherwise, they are treated as if they are Indian citizens, both OCI card holders and NRIs. Now, this parity between OCI card holders and NRIs was before 2021, but everything changed in 2021. And what changed? Okay. First of all, Ministry of Home Affairs came out with certain rules in 2021. These rules said that from now onwards, OCI card holders have to seek a permit to visit certain areas in India that are called protected areas, like J&K, Arunachal Pradesh, or security-wise sensitive areas. So, like every foreigner needs to have a permit to visit these areas, OCI card holders also need to have permit. Okay. Plus, OCI card holders who are trying to do any research activity or missionary, tablighi, or religious activities, they also need some permit. Okay. Earlier, like Indian citizens, they could perform these missionary activities without any permit. Plus, this point, they were treated at par with NRIs in matters of economic, financial, and educational fields. Well, now they no longer are treated at par with these NRIs. They are treated at par with foreign nationals. So, like every foreigner needs some permits, they also need a permit. Okay. And that is why American citizens of Indian origin, OCI card holders of America, have raised issue with this problem. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to our last news item of the day, study on Indian elephants. Now, first, we'll take a look at what was in the news, and then we'll talk about the geographical spread of Indian elephants in India. So, a team of researchers from Bengaluru based National Center for Biological Sciences and again Bengaluru based Indian Institute of Sciences have found that Indian elephants many millenniums ago were found in north of India. Okay, but they started migrating towards south many millennia ago. Okay, and with each southern migration, they lost their genetic diversity. This was what was found in this study by these two institutes, and this study was published in a reputed journal called Current Biology. Okay, now this was what was covered in the news, but this is not what is important for you. What is important for you is, especially for prelims, is that where are Indian elephants found in India? So basically, this study found 5 pockets where elephants are found in large quantities. Northern India, Central India, so Northern India, Central India, Southern India, Palaghat Gap in Western Ghats above that. Then 3 sites are in Southern India. So 1 site in North, 1 site in Central, 3 sites in Southern India. Total 5 sites where elephants are found. Okay. Now, as per the last national census on elephants, 2017, India has 29,000 elephants. Half of these elephants are found in southern India. Okay, 14,500 elephants. Okay, central India, Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, they have 3,000, and rest 12,000 are found in North India. Okay, some are found in Northwest India, some are mostly are found in Northeast India. So this is the geographical spread. All right. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it added value to your preparation, though it would add more value if you revise these current affairs as well. And you can revise these current affairs by reading the PDF file related to these current affairs. Now, the PDF file, you can download this PDF file from our Telegram channel. And where can you find our Telegram channel? Well, the link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below this video. So go to that link, click on that link, you'll be routed to our Telegram channel. There you follow our Telegram channel and you can download the PDF for not just this lecture, but all the other lectures featuring on our YouTube channel. All right. On that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.